Hey everybody, let's see, how do I even do this? I'm used to saying it's DO here, but as you can see I've changed the channel name to kind of match our new podcast, so I guess I'll just go ahead and say hello, it's me Randy, and I'm bringing you kind of a Lone Hammer YouTube video thingamajigger, because our podcast is actually starting to do quite well. I decided that we needed a YouTube channel, and instead of having two YouTube channels, one with my battle reports and one for the podcast, as you've noticed in the past, I've kind of combined them both. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this one from the Demonic Orchard just to the Lone Hammer YouTube page for our battle reports, tournament things, local gaming stuff. I'm just going to have it all on this page. It'll make it a lot better and a lot easier for me. Because time is always limited, and sometimes making things simple is always better. Besides, every time somebody responds to one of my videos, they always butcher Demonic Orchard, so I figured Lone Hammer will be so much easier. Or you can just go ahead and say, this is what Randy or Jeff or Mark or somebody says if they ever get on this page. So that's kind of the whole studio update. I don't even know why I say studio, not like I have some art gallery behind me where I do all sorts of painting, but I do my recording here. So yeah, anyway, so I was sitting here, and I got off of work, came home, looked on my old trusty computer at YouTube, and saw that LT had made another rant video. So I do enjoy them quite thoroughly. I meant to respond to one of them, and I think I'm going to respond to two now, kind of back to back, and just kind of throw out a couple questions and kind of comments and whatnot. First, in his second rant, he was talking about a GT that is upcoming, and the long and the short of it was basically they were using comp, and I'll get into this comp thing in a second because it's so weird to me to hear people talk about it. Anyway, he was talking about it, and that's Lone Wolf, which is in Dallas. It has always been a no comp tournament, and it has recently gone to a strict Swedish comp. The reason being, my understanding for it, and I do talk to Mark Cox, who runs it. I talk to him regularly, and we discuss it. He's on the podcast as well, and he decided, and I'm not going to completely talk for him and whatnot, but he kind of looked at the way the Masters was going, and the South has a huge Masters pool. We have a lot of guys that are really interested in it, but we don't do comp the way they do it in Masters. So what he's gone and done is made a tournament for the South for a lot of us that go to it. It's a very popular tournament. There's 100 guys that already have signed up. There's a waiting list, and so on and so forth. And it's a great tournament, great venue, well ran, excellent weekends for anybody that's still coming. But what it is, it's kind of like a prep for people that really want to go to Masters and get a big tournament feel. Yeah, you could run. People say, "Well, run a one day and run Swedish comp." Okay, but that doesn't give you 5 games of what will be happening when guys continue to go to the Masters. I think it's brilliant. It gives us a really good opportunity to see comp, and then the rest of the time in the South, you're going to see no comp all over the place. So it's going to be it's great fun. It's going to be really, really amazing. So I think that whenever somebody blasts or doesn't like comp, and I know LT, you kind of came and said, I didn't mean to say those things. I think that the deal with comp, to me, and will always be, it's Warhammer, it's a game, it's toy soldiers. If you want to push models around and play it this way, play it. If you don't, don't. it's Warhammer. It's about as much fun as you're gonna possibly have while playing it and drinking beer. It's like playing with GI Joes, and you're in your 30s, and you get to drink beer and hang out with the guys. I love it. I think it's great. But I did want to kind of maybe shed some light onto why Lone Wolf was going to comp. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, Swedish comp, it sucks, I hate it, or oh my god, I love it. But there is a reason for it. He didn't just arbitrarily go, Swedish comp, boom. It's kind of fall in line with, what's going on with the rest of the country, and see how the South will stack up with the big boys, which the big boys in this would probably be, judging by last year's Masters, the Northeast with how they did as a team, and the overall winner came out of the Midwest, so it's a big deal for everybody. The second point is the last rant, and the thing about fun, and again, I'm going to paraphrase here because I'm not going to rehash everything that was said in a 30-minute video and then try to put it in my own little 20-minute video, if that's what this ends up being. But fun is like the great gray area of Warhammer, and I'm going to kind of put it into what I think is fun, and maybe people will go, yeah, that is fun, or dude, that dude's stupid. And I'm not talking about GTs, and I'm not talking about one-day events. I'm not talking about anything that's competitive. I'm not going to talk about competitive army builds to people because, again, you're paying money to go win something or do whatever it is that you like to do at a GT, at a 2-day event. So if you want to bring the pain, bring the pain. That's your call. When he talks about the BRB in the rule book, and that's pure Warhammer, in the rule book itself, it says basically ignore whatever rule you want and play Warhammer the way you want to play it. So in itself, the rule book tells you to do whatever you want. That's pure Warhammer to me. So I don't quite get that. But when you talk about fun, bringing whatever you want, bring whatever you want, okay, and it's not it's a you thing if you're not having fun playing. I disagree about as much as any person can disagree with that statement. I will, generally speaking, have fun playing Warhammer whenever, wherever. I can be fun, have a beer, not have a beer, be joking around with my opponents, and I've played Lord Tremendous, and I'm telling you, it was a really fun day. I played him, I played Death Holy Death, I saw his gaming group. They are awesome dudes. They are super fun, and then if anybody could live in that area and you wanted to play Warhammer, boom, there it is, because those guys are a ton of fun. But my fun isn't always on me. I work for a living, like most of you. I'd probably say 99% of you work, and you get a day away from the wife, the kids, the girlfriend, regular responsibility, and you can go play Warhammer. And it's Thursday night, and you get to go out, and you show up. And I'm going to use myself as an example for this. And this is, again, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but it was brought up a ton about Demon Princes and Band of Wolves. Again, I play demons. Is my army super duper fun to play against? My tournament list? No. My all Slaanesh list that I bring, when I go to play, are there elements of it that are not fun? Sure. Nobody wants to get cacked off the table. And I am cognizant of that when I play in a fun game. You know what I mean? Like, I understand what needs to happen. Nobody wants to show up, set their models up, go turn 1, boo, oh, you lost, turn 2. God, that sucks. One, that's not fun. It's not fun to set all your stuff up and lose. Yeah, that would be on me if I did that to somebody. But the Banner of the World Dragon, I'll go ahead and do this because my opponent chose to bring the list, knowing they're going to play against me on a Thursday night. And yes, every so often I love to sit there and think a ton and have this chess match game of Warhammer where we're playing and maneuvering. And other times I just want to go roll some dice. I just want to kind of push things forward, throw dice, win or lose, whatever. Banner of the World Dragon, if you run it, and then you run the White Lion bus, and then you run all the magic, and I bring my list. Okay. I can be the nicest guy in the world. You have affected my fun. One, because now, instead of being able to just play Warhammer, I have to do a bunch of other stuff, and that list is designed just to kick me in the nuts. And you know what? When you get a night out, and I'm not like some other people that play Warhammer where they get to do it 4 times a week or 3 times a week and go to every GT. I get to go to my share. And I get to play Warhammer once a week, maybe once every other week, where I get to go out and really have fun. If I'm trying to have fun, me playing that list is not fun. I can be having a good time internally, but I'm there to kind of play a game and roll dice, and I can chat with you. You and me and my opponent can be having a great time talking. I'd rather not play the game then, because it's not a fun game. The guy could be a nice guy. I could be a nice guy. We could be chit-chatting all along. You brought an army that's designed to kick me in the nuts. Instead of playing that game, I would rather slam my dick in a door. Why? Because it's not frickin' fun. It's a game of Warhammer. It's designed to go have a good time. I reject the notion 110% that I'm responsible for all of my fun. I'm not. I go to a movie. It plays on the theater. I'm there to have a great time. I'm excited about the movie, and then you watch it and it sucks. Is it my fault that the movie sucked? No. The movie, the director, the actors, it sucked. So why would it be on me? If you go on a date with a girl and you're trying to be lively and have a great conversation and she just is a horrible human being, is it your fault that the whole thing sucked? Part of it might be, but not the whole thing. The other person has to take some responsibility. And to that effect, I'm going to say the same thing that I've said before. I believe Anthony said the same thing. If you're going to bring a list that just makes people not have fun to play, don't be surprised when you show up one day or post that you're looking for a game and not a single person out there responds. And why? It's not fun. You're not fun. You're not embracing it as a game. You're embracing it as I want to play this. I want to win. Cool. We all do most of the time. But not like that. That's not fun. It's not a good time. That's not there's other things I could be doing with my Thursday night than playing Banner of the World Dragon, White Lion Horde, Triple Frost Phoenix List. Wow, this is going to be a great time. I can't wait to do this on a Thursday, knowing I have to work on Friday morning, and I spent all day working as well. That's not fun. It's not fun. And neither is Flying Circus, Demon Prince. Every army has unfun aspects of it. Every army does. Nobody wants to play against the Casket of Souls and watch it blow your stuff up. Nobody wants to play against the Gunline. Nobody wants to play against Nurgle Demon Prince on Death. Nobody, people just don't want to. And can they be beat? Yes. Are they in their own right unfun? No. But when you build an entire army around a concept of just wrecking a person's face on Gaming Club Thursday, it's not fun. There's other ways to spend your time. There just is. So while I appreciate his videos on fun, and I always take it to heart when I show up to play a game, I want to be a fun guy. If it is just a club game night and I'm just picking up a game against a guy I've never played before in my entire life, I won't bring a filthy, disgusting, list where it's, haha, look at how much I can face wreck you. Look, I brought what I can because that's in the rules and I can bring what I want. Silly. How many guys play Warhammer? Not a ton. And if you push people out of a hobby because they don't have fun doing it and they don't want to spend money on something that they're not good at, I mean, why? Why bother? What's the point? I don't get it. I sat there and I watched LT. I watched the video, and the whole time I'm thinking, I'm almost talking into my monitor, going, how is it my fault if I'm not having fun because we're supposed to be having a friendly, fun game of Warhammer, and you're intentionally being a dick. You're being a dick by bringing stuff that's just over the top. Now, granted, if you call somebody up or text them and say, hey, this is what I want to bring Thursday night, what do you think? And your opponent's like, it's fun, yeah, play it. Hey, that's totally cool. That's awesome. That's no problem. But if you're just going to show up at the shop and make a like, hey, I want a game on Thursday. Oh, cool. Yeah, hey, I'll meet up with you at 6 o'clock. Yeah, how many points? Cool. What are you bringing? Oh, I'm bringing this. And you design a list to beat the other person's army. I mean, seriously. You're really, anybody who really has a leg, you have a leg to stand on to say that I'm responsible for the fun? It's silly. It makes no sense. Yes, I agree with you to the extent of you're responsible to make sure that you are trying to have fun, but so many factors in life as well as Warhammer determine what happens to you sometimes. You can't control everything in your life. Controlling your own fun is like driving down the road and having a drunk driver sideswiping you. You can't avoid it. It happened, but your driving didn't cause it. So, I love you, LT. I really, really do, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come down there. We're gonna have to have this. We're gonna have to have a discussion. We're gonna have to have a Skype in. We're gonna have to have a night of talking about this so I can fully grasp what you're trying to say. Because I think that sometimes when we do videos and you respond, it's almost like a political stump speech where you're saying kind of what it is and not totally agreeing. And I think sometimes people's words get, I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's it. I don't agree with you, brother. I think that's kind of coming out of left field, bro. But anyway, y'all have a great evening. LT, I'll holler at you later, brother. And see y'all on the flip side. And I will be coming down to play this new Undead Legion of yours, hopefully soon. And when I get my Chaos Legion all done up, and we'll have a grand time with it, brother. But until then, see you later.